Hey, GLUKOS fans. Today we're talking with GLUKOS athlete McKenna McKee. She's a 16-year-old who is an aspiring professional cyclist. Her accomplishments are already impressive, including a recent silver medal at the Junior and Elite Track Nationals. And she's received an invitation to attend the Team Novo Nordisk Talent ID Camp. McKenna was diagnosed at a very early age with type 1 diabetes, but she really hasn't let that hold her back. So, McKenna, we're really excited to talk to you today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So, it's November 1st, and November is National Diabetes Awareness Month. I don't think a lot of people really understand what it's like to live with diabetes, and also really what it's like to be an elite level athlete who has to train and manage more than just, gosh, how far am I going to go today? Or what's my recovery plan look like? You kind of have another element to your training and racing. So perfect time to talk to you. You were diagnosed with type 1 diabetes very young. Can you tell me kind of what that was like?
Yeah, so I was diagnosed at the age of 6, and I was in the hospital for probably about 3-4 days. And my parents actually spent the night with me all 4 days. And then the doctors that I was with weren't very, supportive. They told me I'd probably never be able to be as active as I was before being diagnosed, because before being diagnosed, I rode a bike a lot, I swam a lot, I ran a lot. And then once I was diagnosed, everything seemed like it was going to change. And my mom and dad, my mom's a nurse, so she actually didn't know that I had it. My dad was actually the one that was like, hey, we need to take McKenna into the hospital. And then they took me in, and then I got all my tests back, and then I had to go into the hospital and then spend the night there, and I actually thought like I was dying.
Oh.
And then it took me probably about a solid 2 years to pick myself back up again. And then I went to the Tour de Cure rides for diabetes, and then Lonnie Canab was there from Team Novo Nordisk, and that's when I was like, oh my gosh, I want to join Team Novo Nordisk, because what an opportunity it is to race with a bunch of other people with type 1 diabetes, all living and racing with the same thing as me. And then also on top of that, and trying to educate and empower people with type 1 diabetes.
Wow. I mean, you were still pretty young when you were, starting to ride in these rides, and got your mind set to saying, you know what, I'm gonna ride with these folks. That's really impressive. So you've been cycling. You were always active. You've been cycling since you were young. One of the things that we read about when it comes to managing diabetes is that exercise is important, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, your decision to be a cyclist, how has that helped you manage on a daily basis?
Yeah, I find it fun. And actually, my blood sugars tend to do better when I'm active and on the bike and training in the gym and stuff. But when I'm off the bike, like during school, my blood sugars actually tend to get a little out of hand, because my body's so used to being physically active and moving that it's not used to just sitting around all day. And so for me, just figuring out oh, my body needs to be moving, or I'm now able to feel my body out, and if I don't feel right, then I check my blood sugar, and then I just fix it from there. But also in school, it's harder sometimes, because you got to focus on everything else. And cycling sometimes gets that way, but there's also breaks and stuff where I can check my blood sugar during track time, during competition and stuff. So it helps me out a lot.
So you're a track cyclist. What kind of events do you compete in? Are you track and road?
So I am right now fully committed to sprint right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I am, for the most part, track, but I do crit racing, which is in the city. And I do a little bit of road, but not too much. My focus now has gone to the track.
How do you fit your workouts in with school and everything?
Yeah, it's a mix of everything. So I train between 6 to 7 days a week, and then go to school also, and then go to the gym also. So my schedule is pretty crazy. My parents could definitely tell you that. So they're always running me around. So eventually I'll have my license and be able to do all of it on my own. But for now, it's like everything.
So you mentioned like being able to stop like during a track meet when you're not racing, to check your blood sugar levels. You take glucose as a nutritional supplement. How do you figure out what you need to take and when?
Yeah, so I actually have been trying GLUKOS for a lot of years now, like 2, 3, I don't know, somewhere around there. And so I actually kind of like figured out which ones would work, and I remember like, okay, this one takes 15 minutes, and that's the tabs and the shots, I believe. And then the drink mix takes about 30 minutes to kick in. So between 20 minutes, somewhere around there. And so before races and stuff, if my blood sugar is low or if I feel like I'm going low, I will drink that like 20, 30 minutes before my race. So then by the time I actually am racing, that will kick in, and then I'll be able to be good to go. So.
And I assume that's sort of the same when you're training. You've got to look at, okay, I've got this long of a workout coming up, so I'm going to plan my nutrition accordingly.
Yeah.
It sounds like a little bit more work than somebody who does not have to worry about low blood sugar. But it sounds like you have some good mentors through Team Novo Nordisk. You know, when we choose to pursue athletics, there's got to be something that drives us to do so. And you've been riding for a long time. What kind of pushes you to want to keep going and to keep getting better and to put in the hard work?
Yeah, so basically for me, it's this, to prove to myself that I can do this, and to prove to other people out there living with diabetes that we can do anything and everything that we want to, because diabetes won't and can't stop us. So, yeah.
That's an awesome message. And, you know, I think from being that 6-year-old little girl being told that, gee, you're just not going to be able to be that active anymore, to seeing where you are now, I think that you've already done such an amazing job of persevering and being an inspiration. So I really look forward to following your career. It's fall. Do you have any events that are coming up in the near future?
Yeah, so this weekend I'm going up to Canada to get some track time, because right now it's the off season here in America. Mm-hmm. And so actually I was accepted to go to a camp for the Olympic Development Program. And so that will be happening in November. So I'm just trying to keep in shape right now, so I'll be good to go for that.
Congratulations. That's really exciting. Well, thank you so much for taking part of your Friday afternoon to talk to me. And we wish you the best of luck. Good luck in Canada. Good luck at the training camp. And we'll be following McKenna and all of her successes on our social media. So stay tuned. Stay tuned, folks. Thanks, McKenna, so much.
Thank you, GLUKOS, for helping me. And I'd also like to thank my team, TCNS, for also helping me to get to my dreams and goals of going to Team Novo Nordisk. Also, my coach, Kirk Whiteman, for hanging in there and learning the ins and outs of diabetes with me, and Dixie Fighter here in Portland. So
awesome. Yeah. What a great team. Thanks, McKenna. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.